Hello there. All right, so what we got here is a new RedM roleplay server called RIP Roleplay. I'm talking in character now. My character's Ransom Bash. I'll be going in just a moment, but right now, so first thing is you have a Discord server. There's a RIP Roleplay Discord. I'll be putting that up on the screen, but this is going to be an intro to the server, sort of just running around looking at a few things it has, just to say, you know, I'm looking for people to come to the Discord server and look at the stuff there and say, hey, I want to be on the server. And so then there's a whitelist, and I'll put them on there and get started. So initially we start with 30. So in RedM, you know, you come up on the homepage like this, and then you hit play, and you get a whole list of all these servers here, you know, and so you would just start. You just type RIP Roleplay, and it comes up. It's right there. RIP RP, Serious Roleplay 21 plus. So, yeah, it's going to be 21 to keep people kind of older. So, you know, I don't know, just 18. Yeah, it's fine, but it just, I don't know, the teenage thing coming in and role play. Just want people a little bit more sort of kind of like serious about acting role play. You know, don't want to hang out and be silly kind of thing. That's all on the Discord. That's in the rules. There's a link to a Google Doc with all the rules as they stand now. The rules are going to improve, but it's, you know, it's a general set of rules that like covers the main things that almost any RP server is going to be putting in place. And there's nothing exceptional about any other rules or what to expect. The only thing is it's got to be role play. And there are things in there. So if I click on it, you see RIP RP. Now here's the Discord. Discord.gg KQKTTPBPHG. I'll just put that up on screen again, but that's the Discord for saying, hey, I'm interested, or, you know, there's a thing. You come into the Discord, you land on the agreement page, you look at it. It basically just says, hey, you know what? This is a private role play server. You got to be serious. You can't fool around. Don't be, you know, uptight about it. And we're not responsible for stuff. We're not liable for what you may say in your role play. We will take action if something is done, like you know, you can't be bad on the server. You can't be doing any kind of bigotry or racist. You can't harass anybody. You can't do any sexist shit on there. You know, you gotta behave yourself. So, but we're saying, you know, we can't be on top of it I mean, the server's going to be running 24 hours a day. I'm just one person, right? Back here, I can't be monitoring the halls all day long. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. So if there's a problem, people got to work it out with themselves nicely, easily, gently in the Discord. There's a general discussion area where you work stuff out. If it gets more problematic, you know, if something serious happens, then you just drop a line in the Discord and we say, well, yeah, that's not good. That can't happen. And I will step in and do something. But I can't be held like totally. You can't get mad at me and hold me responsible for things that I can't possibly be on top of all the time. There's very, very limited amount of resources for running something like this. And everybody has to understand that, and everybody has to play along, and everybody has to support everybody, because we're all actors. We're actors in a drama. It's a dramatic situation. That's what role play is. One dramatic situation building on top of another and going on down improvisational. That kind of thing. And mistakes happen, and we can't always get all uptight and, you know, start bitching about this and that unless it's something serious. If somebody messes up, if somebody doesn't quite adhere to one of the rules or one of the smaller rules. There are obvious rules. You just can't walk around and attack people for no reason or insult people in a way that is based on protected aspects of people, who they are, what they look like, where they're from, what they believe, that kind of stuff. You can't do that in here. We got to be good, and because we all are having fun together. And so that's something I have to say right away. So that first agreement you land on in the Discord, you got to click a little button at the bottom, a little emote at the bottom, and it says, okay, I read this, I agree with it. Then if you do that, that gives you access to the rest of the Discord where you can see how to connect to the server, how to connect to the TeamSpeak, and how to read the rules for the server. And there's little tips and hints like key commands that help out, and text commands that you type in, things like that. So here is RipRP with its Discord, and you would just, we're starting out because I set the server up. This one of these game server services. So I set it up initially with 30 slots for players. Obviously, I don't want to just keep it at 30, but you have to start somewhere. So we get people in, we start going along, and as some more people says, look, we're getting up around 20 now. Okay, so it looks like maybe we ought to bump this up, so we'll move it up to, to the next tier, and start improving it like that. And then at some point, because it's expensive to do this, and I'm just doing it now, I'm just doing it myself to keep things running, and I'm fine with that. But it does get expensive, and as we start to increase the resources for the server, and from 30, we might go up to, 45, and then from 45, we'd say, okay, next serious jump, we'd have to probably jump up to 80 or 100. And then it starts getting to the point where you say, okay, you know what? Do we get some of our regulars that are really happy with this and are regular in here all the time to donate to help cover the costs of this? We may have to do that. That makes sense. I think that's how other servers do it. I am not entirely sure because I think it is, but server people tend to be a little tight-lipped about what they do to keep the funds supplied and the keep the lights on at night in the shop. You know what I'm saying? They just don't talk about it very much. It's kind of a mystery. And I guess they do that because, you have to respect what Rockstar had built here. It's their property. It's their game. And we are using it, and we are building scripts on top of it to do things, but we're doing things with objects they built. Boxes, horses, carriages, boats, guns, books, pieces of paper, bottles of beer, chairs, all that stuff is there. They made it, and so they have a right to it. And you got to be careful with how you do things. So anyway, but how you are allowed to make money doing something like this is very limited by this. You are, I believe, allowed to support the expense to do what you're doing. It's like when people come to your house and you say, I'm having a big dinner or something, everybody has to contribute because I'm tight on funds and I can't go out and buy all the food myself. So everybody brings some food or something to support the event. That's what I'm talking about here, and how that happens will there's ways to do it. I've noticed some places use Patreon, I guess it's called, but we could do that, I guess. But I don't know. It just starts to that's just another aspect of the complexity of all this that I have to. There's a fan service. Hi, how you do? I'm just doing my thing here about a new server, and I'm talking in character. I don't talk like this. The reason I'm talking in character is because I want to focus on the fact that we're doing RP. We're doing role play, and the point is to stay in character. Obviously, if you're streaming from your role play, you're going to be switching in and out of character as every streamer does. I get that totally, but just sort of the general ambiance of the server, just to point it up that it's serious RP, and you kind of do everything you can to stay there in your character all time. So that's why I'm streaming and talking as my Ransom Bash character. So what I did is I made my Ransom Bash character in here. He's my test character. I don't know. He's just my character I use. I have two but anyway, so I made him law for this. He's going to be like a high level law where he's the boss. He can hire other law to be on levels 0 through 5. And jobs in this role play server, they're jobs and they get salaries. So you come in, I'll do that. I'll show it. But you get paid. You get paid every hour. The server pays you a certain salary based on your job level. So that gives you, and actually I think it's a pretty good salary, because I looked at other servers where people are bitching and moaning about the salaries. Like, why am I only getting $2.25 an hour? Or $2.25 every half hour. Well, so my salaries here start. Some of the jobs are a little lower paid than others, but the law, the doctors, stuff like that, marshal, you have levels at like 10 and 15 and 20 and 25, 30, 35, 40. It goes like that up to like 70 an hour. Yeah, so that's pretty good. Now, some other job, I have a tarot. You can be a tarot card reader, and that's anyone can buy a tarot deck in this server and read tarot. And see, the thing is about this, they're real cards. They show in the game. I wrote a thing where the tarot cards come up, and you can read, and then you can pass the cards that you can show the cards to the other person you're talking to. They come up on screen. Full living color, like in the old days on the first original color television sets. So anyway, you can do real tarot. They're real. I'm not bullshitting around here. This is not some RP tarot. This is real fucking tarot. This is a full 78 deck of cards. And it pulls out 3 random cards every time you run it. Every time you want to do a reading, 3 actual random cards out of the deck. So you're doing a real tarot reading for the other character in your RP. It's not fake. You don't have to fake anything, but you got to know your tarot. Because here's the other thing. I noticed I'm kind of rambling off here before I connect to the server, but I've noticed tarot on other servers. Some people read tarot, but there's no tarot really. There's nothing. They're just like saying I'm doing a tarot reading, and they must be doing cards like on their desk or something, and then they read in the book. You can't do that here. Because the deck they're using, by the way, usually they're playing RP around 1900 or 18 something. The tarot deck they're using didn't exist then. It didn't exist till 1909. Sorry to say. They mostly use the standard Rider-Waite deck that everybody really knows, and this guy didn't exist in 1900 or 1901. It wasn't there. That's an anachronism. I am using a deck called the Tarot de Marseille from France, that actually did exist at that time. So your readings are but you got to know tarot to use those cards. You really do. There aren't that many books on the Tarot de Marseille, so you got to know your shit. That's why being a tarot reader is a whitelist job, because we got to say, okay, you know what? While you're talking to me to convince me you can do the tarot job, tell me what you think about the Seven of Swords card or the Knight of Wands. And give them the little cards. That'll throw them. That'll throw someone who doesn't know tarot. They don't know shit. Most people have heard a few things about some of the big cards, the major cards, but they don't know the little cards. So you say, hey, what about the Two of Cups? What do you think about that card? And then they'll be like, well, it's a two, and then twos are kind of like a pair, and I don't know, it's a cup. You can drink out of it. See, then we'll say, well, maybe you're not ready to be a tarot reader in RP, because your tarot readings here they're going to be real. They're going to be real. So there you go. That's what I'm talking. That's why I'm talking in character. It's got to be real. I want actors on the level of Brad Pitt. I want leveled up actors. I want actors who are acting their asses off. I want performers who write good shit. You know, people who are going to produce something special. There are servers out there with special stuff coming out of their ears. There's a lot of people that are good at this. And all these servers have different qualities. I don't even know what my server's good or bad at. I don't know yet. I can't possibly tell that until people come in and start working it. And they tell me, but I do know that some things work because technically I've made them work. So I know they do. I think the areas I know where I need more feedback are things in like how jobs work, how people deal with making a living and stuff like that in here. So, but I have things. You know, you can make a living any way you want in many respects in role play because you can become a moonshiner. There's no actual moonshine job. You have to figure out how to get started making moonshine and what you need to get your hands on to get started. Whether you need to purchase something or craft it, which is more financially viable for your situation. And then you need to know how to acquire materials for making your moonshine. And then you have to get your moonshine. You got to get a certain amount of it. So where do you put it? You got to transport it because you only sell it in particular places. And then, so how do you make that money doing that? Do you go to one of these places to sell it, or do you sell it to another person? That kind of thing. And players figure that kind of stuff out on their own. You don't really have to build something for a lot of that. Like if I'm going to sell to Alice over here, maybe I can make a little more off her than I can from selling it at this other place. And so that sort of develops on its own. And it's interesting to see what becomes of that. So I'm going to connect. I think I'm ready to connect. So it's connecting up to RIP RP. Now, RIP's funny. RIP, RIP can be read any way you like. Any way you like. But what the other interesting aspect is I incorporated RIP into the county name. The county of this server is known as Ripwater County. And what I was thinking is Ripwater County, and then these places like Lemoyne and West Elizabeth, these are districts, right? I think that's how it works. These are districts inside Ripwater County, and then you have the towns inside the district. So I believe it's going to be law, like each town can have a sheriff, a Valentine sheriff, a Rhodes sheriff, a San Denis sheriff, Armadillo sheriff, and then there'll be a marshal who is like a marshal magistrate for the whole Ripwater County. We can have, I don't know, we don't have to have one. It can be like, you want several of everything because people aren't on here all the time reliably, So you have like a marshal and this is Ransom. This is Ransom Bash. Hi, good to meet you. How you doing right there? I'm talking to you. Now, and let me just load myself up with my junk here. All right, so there's a few things to notice here. I got on the left side of the screen down there, I got the metabolism things with the food and water. There's a microphone. See, when I start talking, I press my key and the microphone turns green. That's the salty chat going on, and my character's moving his mouth now. Beepity boppity boopity boop. So there you go. And you change range with the J key. So see how now it's higher range. And now it's low range, 3.5 meters, 8 meters. And then, I go right in the middle, right there for normal. And in here, so we are using cash and gold. We have gold down here. Certain things can get you gold in your finances. And you can see that we have water, but we also have a glass bottle, which is something you want because that allows you to collect water from any river and store it up as more water. So that's one of the first things you want to get is a glass bottle. And you can see tarot deck cards I was just talking about. And we have tents. You can build a tent. And we have a notebook. And we have a newspaper. It's the Ripwater Gazette. And we have a job, which is journalist. And the journalist is the job that can write and publish newspapers. And they write full, real articles. And there's a whole newspaper. It just shows right up on the screen. It's very cool. But we have medical bags, we have bandages, we have handcuffs, we got a reviving syringe, and we have crates, a storage crate where you can put your stuff in there for extra storage, and then you can drop it. But things you drop, crates and notes, you can drop notes from your notebook. They only last 48 hours unless a note is posted. Now, you can post notes different ways. You can drop a note on the ground or a table or the floor, or a note can be posted by certain people, like an admin. They see this is on the wall of this building, and if you take it, you're now reading the posted message, which was posted back on December 3rd, 1885 at 3:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Law and Newspaper Office practitioners of the legal and journalistic pursuits are welcome to use these premises as their base of operations. Please do not interfere with these professions as they help Ripwater County maintain the high standards of ethical government. Thank you sincerely, Ripwater County Marshal. See? Now, that's a posted note that stays there all the time because somebody with privileges was able to post. Now, they're talking about the office, and in here, you can see we have the office here, which is used as a base of operations by journalists. A lawyer can use it also as primarily a law office, but the journalists share the space for their discussions and interviews and such like with the various lawyers who are practicing around in the area. There's no lawyer job yet, but there will be. Now, we also have, obviously we have, you would expect to have a gun store, and we do, of course, so you've got all that there. And if you happen to be a gunsmith with that job, you can customize weapons and such. However, I can't because I do not have the required job rank to use customization. That's because my job, if I hit the F6 key to bring up the menu, my job is police level 6. And that allows me to do things like run around in the sheriff's office and pull up certain menus. Now, over here, any citizen can come over here and open up the main bounty board, or they can go over here and open up the local bounty menu. So the local bounty menu is just like, okay, I want to hunt a local bounty. That's what you're going after, locals there. You're going after NPCs. And that's a way of just making money. You go out, you do the job, you come back, you come back here and you hit receive payment. Boom, right there to get your money for the bounty you just did. That's local bounties. Anybody can do them. Now, the other thing is main bounty board. The main bounty board is, it tells you there's one law available for bounty turn-in. Okay, that's me right now. If there's no law, you can't do the bounties. Now, these are real bounties. These are real player bounties. This is anyone who's wanted. Like normally on many servers, I think they have only law can really go after people. Well, we're saying no, you can check the bounty board here, and you can see, okay, Jack Walsh is wanted for bank robbery. Bounty is $300. Jack Walsh is also wanted for robbery, like he robbed a person. Bounty is $100. He's wanted. Kid Callahan, murder and bank robbery and hostage taken and attempted murder. Bounty $200, status wanted. This would actually probably be a higher bounty for all those crimes. But anyway, so there you go. Now, you can say, okay, I know this guy's wanted. I'm going to go and look for him. If I see him, I'm going to hog tie that son of a bitch and bring him in. But law has to be on duty. If law is not on duty, you have to let him go. You cannot hold him. You cannot wait for law to come on. If law is not on duty, you cannot hold the person. You got to let him go. If law is on duty and you come to where you think they are to turn them in and they're not there, you got to let them go. Unless you know where exactly law is going to be. You cannot hold somebody and go wandering around for hours looking for law. That's a crime. You can't do it. You have to be able to go get the bounty, capture them, and bring them immediately to law. Otherwise, you got to let them go. Now, because I'm police, I get extra, and it tells what penalties are. But because I'm police, I get extra things in this menu that a normal player just wanted to check bounties wouldn't get. They would just see check bounties, and they might see penalties, because penalties just describe the crimes. So robbery of an individual is 120 minutes. That's 120 days. In Sisika or in jail, fine $200. You say we don't have a whole lot. It's like kidnapping is 60 minutes. In other words, 60 days, fine $100. Organized corruption's a big one. Fine is $6,000. Well, if you try to get all set up and organized, like taking over a town and corrupting law or offering payouts to law or trying to run some kind of a major crime business, you're going to get you're only going to go to jail for 240 minutes, but you're going to have to pay $6,000. $6,000. So there you go. And so regular people can see this, and regular people can check the bounties and see if there's someone they want to go after to get paid. But only law can add a bounty. So they input a name, a reason, a status, a bounty amount, and confirm. They can set bounty status, for one. They can change, like name Jack Wallace. Just change that from 1 to wanted. Yeah, see, that 1 is gone. Jack Walsh now, both his entries are wanted. That 1 is gone. So there you go. And you can remove a bounty. You can say, okay, you know what? That's all over with. He did his time, or he's been put in jail. Everything's good. I'm taking it out. Usually, I think what you would do is you would leave the bounty active even while the person was in jail, but its status would say jailed. And then when his jail sentence was over, or her jail sentence was over, then you would take the status. You would delete the bounty. So that's how that works. And that can be accessed by law also away from the board by going up here and doing bounty board. But only law has that ability. And of course, now inside you get another thing, which is law has its own telegram office inside the sheriff's offices. And it comes up now, there's nothing here. But this is where anonymous tipster messages come in. So they would be listed here if there were any. So if a regular person goes to the telegram office and addresses a telegram to Anon, then it goes to law. All law can then access that telegram from their sheriff's offices, and the sender is anonymous. So that's just a way of contacting all law at one time via special telegram address. And then if you are law has jail keys. They have to get their jail keys. I believe they get them at the store. I can't quite remember, but whatever. Do I even have? No, I have a train key. I don't even have the jail key. But I should go buy one. Because they can lock and unlock the cells and doors and stuff. Now, they also have a job menu. And because I'm the boss, I'm the high-level police, I can do stuff like I can go to the change room, I can view bills, I can manage employees. This is where I hire. I can say I hire people. And here's the police inventory. So, yeah, I could say, well, let me just put one in there. Police inventory. But you would store ammunition and some weapons in here that you would need to grab for some kind of a sheriff's operation. If you wanted to say, okay, hey, does everybody have a gun? Oh, you don't have a gun? Okay, you lost your gun, whatever. Here, you don't have any ammunition. Here's some ammunition. You get it out of police inventory, that kind of thing. Or if you say this person needs to be a deputy, I need to deputize him, you can do it right here. Let me go and get some jail keys. I'm going to run down to the store and... Oh, I'm so sorry to barge in on you like that. So is that yeah, it's a tool. Just give me one. All right. So now if I, first of all, wait, before we leave, tools, you got food, you can sell and buy. But yeah, you got a bunch of food things. You got eggs and whatever. You can buy beer and whiskey here too. You got a general store stuff. You got tools, and some of that is like an axe. You got things. These are here. Yeah, iron bar. These are not going to be here long because they really should be just crafted, and you can craft them. You go to the smelter and you can craft an iron bar, but for now they're in there for a while because it makes it easier to test and stuff. But you can buy handcuffs, a pickaxe, gun cleaner. That's gun oil, hair pomade. That works. You can also craft pomade. That works. You can get a tent. You can get all kinds of stuff. You can get some junk here from mash barrel. That's expensive though. It's $300. A steel is $500. You can buy your notebook, your storage crate, your newspaper, your tarot cards. So yeah, you can buy fireworks too. So, and then you can buy meds. Meds also expensive. Bandages are not, but meds go up 25, 35. Now, if you're a doctor, you can go to a doctor's office and pull med stuff out of the cabinet. Then you got mining, which I think is dynamite. Yeah, other people might want that dynamite too. You got horse, blah, 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 blah. Horse stimulant, horse medicine, horse reviver. Yeah, you got a few things. And you got farming, which is mainly, it's seeds. That's seeds, because you can grow this stuff. So, and now growing, of course, comes in to play if you're going to do some crafting. There's certain things you need to grow. If you want to do moonshine making. And for fishermen or fisher people, you got different baits and stuff and lures, all that stuff, spinners. Fishing works. Now, a lot of people have problems fish. So you can sell fish here that you catch. Fishing is actually pretty easy on my server. It's pretty. You put the thing in the water and you kind of can hook a fish without a whole lot of problems. I don't see any reason to make fishing a big ordeal for anyone. It's just kind of a nice thing to do, and it should be relaxing. And most fishing I see on RedM is just not relaxing. It's just kind of like, oh my God, why isn't this working? What is wrong with the fish? And every time I catch a fish, it breaks my hook or something, and that doesn't happen here on this server. So whatever. Anyway, I got my jail keys, and I'm law, so I just wanted to quickly go back and do the. Law can open doors that you can lock this door, but anyway, whatever. So, like for sale, so I want to lock everybody in. I just go in and I say, jail keys, use. It's locked. And I can lock the sheriff's office too. So I'm going to just say, okay. Locked up. Now, here's another thing. There's a job called minister. And it's a wireless job because a minister is going to have to be someone or people who can, they can stand up here and they can lead a group of people. They can talk to them. They can look. A minister here is going to just do what a minister or a preacher does. They're going to preach. They're going to do their thing, but they just have to kind of want to really do it. And this is a place where you go when you don't want to be preached to you, where you just want to sit and whatever people do. So there you got that. But a minister has to be someone who can preach and wants to do weddings of different characters or funerals and lead those things and arrange them and that kind of thing. That's what it's all about. Role play. Playing your part. There's another saloon over here. So when you go to the saloon, you if I can find there it is. Oh no, I'm in Crafton. What am I doing? That's Crafton because of the oven. So I'll show you that in a minute. But here we are. The standard things. You can get a meat stew and a vegetable stew. And then you can get some drinks. You cannot get moonshine at a saloon. You have to go to a moonshine saloon. And if you notice on the map, if you have a hankering, you see there are various moonshine saloons. They're obvious. They're marked by the triple X right there. So you go to a moonshine saloon. That's where moonshine business is handled. Now, there's a couple things you do. Like one thing I set up. There's a hot key for doing that. That's the 2 key. You can lean on a counter and smoke and jibber jab all you want. And then now if you hit the 1 key, you get out of it, but you also pull your primary weapon. So you put that back. But anyway, also, if you come up to a chair, there'll often be a B. So if you hit B, you can say, okay, well, I'm doing it this way. Sit down. Okay? Now I can hit 1 and get out of it again. But also, with the chairs, you can hit, if you want to have a different selection, you can hit the U key and you get a interaction menu, and you can say generic, whatever kind of, there's all kinds of sitting down, and I'm going to say generic, and then it's the same thing. Now to get out of these, though, you have to hit U again and do end into action. And then he jumps out. But that menu adapts itself to the various things like benches or whatever it is you might be standing next to. Now, let me come on up here. What was I going to do? Oh, the saloon, yeah. Inside the saloon, we have Texas Hold'em poker. Yeah, you can play poker with other people. 6 players. So there you are. We also have crafting at the Stove. Now, the crafting, you have food, and it tells you, the recipe. You have item, and you'll notice there's some interesting things in here. Now, like to say you wanted to make a still. You need 10 iron bars, first of all. Now, you can't just find iron bars. You have to make them. So, that kind of thing. Craft moonshine. You can actually, now this is not making moonshine. Actually, what this is bottling moonshine. So you make moonshine, you produce it, and it is in a jug, and that's what you sell if you're in the moonshine business. Typically, you get a lot of money for a jug, a large volume. But then, in order for people to drink the moonshine, they have to be bottled in individual flasks, and that's where this comes in. This is where crafting can bottle the moonshine. So you would need like 1 barrel to make blackberry moonshine. You would need a 1 jug, and I think it would give you, I can't remember how many, but it gives you some bottles, there's some flasks, like pocket flasks of the moonshine that can then be in your inventory, and you carry it around. So there you go. And of course you can do the same thing, but you can also go behind the counter, and if you have the saloon bartender job, you can open well, if you have the saloon bartender job, otherwise it won't open. And then you can buy alcohol at the wholesale price and then sell it to the patrons of the establishment at, you can sell it for double what you just bought it for, that kind of stuff. And then in the bank, you have the bank and normal deposits and stuff. But you can also say, I want to exchange my gold that I have in my pocket for cash, and it's 2 to 1. I want to use my safe deposit box. Before you use your safe deposit box, you don't have any safe deposit slots. You can basically you can store 100 things in your safe deposit box, but you need to upgrade it. You need to buy those slots. So they're like $1 a slot. So you buy 100 slots, it's $100. You do that here, upgrade safe deposit box. So you see, it says I've used 18 of my 100 slots over here because I bought 100 slots for $100, and then I've used 18 of them, as you can see. But that's a good place to keep things safe. It can't be robbed from there. That's why you use a bank. Now, if you go mining up in Ansburg or Hagen Mine, you can then come to banks and go to the mining trader window, and you can say, first of all, okay, I want to sell some stuff to the bank. I'm going to sell gold nuggets, gold bars, clay, coal, whatever. They'll buy what you can mine. Okay, you also have a few things that are like from grave robbing, like gold ring, gold tooth, gold earring. You can sell them. $10, $100 for the gold ring. Emerald is $175, diamonds $200. You see, so now exchange is where you say, I am selling a money stack. Money stack, sometimes you come across. A money stack is basically just $400. So you just basically take that here to the bank and they give you your $400 cash. That's all it is. So now there's a changing room, wardrobe seller. You buy clothes in the hotel, press space to access the store. We're not going to do that right now, but that's where you do it. You can come up here if you want to make money. And these guys sometimes get a little belligerent, but you can come here and talk to this guy. Press G to open the construction menu. You can start a job, and he will pay you for as long as you want to work. You just come back to him and say, I'm done with the job, and you get the money. Now, over here is where you smelt. So you you press G and you smelting menu, and you're basically saying, okay, I want my gold nuggets to buy me a gold bar. I went mining, I got a bunch of gold nuggets, I'm converting them to a gold bar. So it means, it says it's basically 20 gold nuggets buys you a gold bar. Gold teeth is 40 gold nuggets to get you a gold bar. Gold earrings is 40. Iron, this is a big one. Iron, if you want to make iron bars, you need 10 iron from the mine. And then you can get your one iron bar. That's how you do that. And then over here in the stable, you get and of course we have horse training job, and they give a horse experience. So here are a bunch of horses. You can also buy vehicles, wagons. I own 3 wagons. And wagons can be sort of important because like if I look at this wagon is good for hunting. So you want to find a wagon that has enclosed, so stuff doesn't go flying out of it. That's important. It comes into play when you decide you want to go out and hunt and you want to load up the carcasses and bring them back to the butcher. So, or if you go hunting larger animals like bear, I think, and rams, and when you skin them, the pelts are big, and you can't carry, so you want to throw the pelts in here. And when you do that, you can then bring everything over to the butchers, and you do your selling, and they will sell that. They do not buy your fish, though. If you go fishing, then you do what I just showed. Is you go to the general store and you go into the fish area and you sell the fish. You will also, when you fish, you will get some meat. Raw fish meat based on the weight of the fish you caught. And those pieces you can then take to a crafting oven or a crafting kettle of fire, and cook it to make it edible. But so that's how those are basic things. I know I'm forgetting a whole bunch of stuff. You notice there's no aiming dot until you pull your weapon. And then, and that's because for RP, you really don't want a dot there all the time. It doesn't look good. You just want it there if you're going to actually use your weapon. That's the other thing. There's blackjack. So the map will show. I took blackjack out of Valentine because it's a pain in the ass to jam it into the saloon here. I figured poker's good enough in Valentine. Other places have like a second floor where it's easier to put blackjack. So you'll see blackjack like in Rhodes. There's the blackjack because that's upstairs. It's out of the way, so it just works better. But now poker is in a bunch of places. It's in Saint Denis, but the poker icon doesn't show until you're there, until you're near it. But there is poker in Saint Denis. I believe there's poker in Blackwater. It's in like 5 places or something like that. Definite. Oh, here, see, because I'm right here. I'm in Valentine. I can see the poker icons. There it is, because I'm nearby. So that's when it pops in to let you know. This little sign over here that's like a sun sign. I put that there for the minister. That's like the minister's job location. Gunsmith icon, bank icon, clothes icon, the bath thing, horses, horse trainer, yeah. Construction job here, police over here, bounty board is marked here, haircut, a barber chair, you can change your hair right there, and general store, whatever. It's pretty simple. There's properties that you can get. There's rooms you can rent. You can pay in the hotel. You can get a room, and the room has its own storage. And now there's properties which you can see, like there's a cabin one of my character bought right here. And what that means is people can go in and out of there even if they don't own it. And they can even open up and they can get the inventory to pop up, but they can't do anything with it. They can't get into the inventory. That's the key. So when you own a property, like over here, you could come out here and buy this. This cabin's for sale. Cabin on Little Creek River. And so it's like buying a storage location. You can put stuff that nobody can get. I don't know how many. There aren't that many of them. So property that's something that's going to have to evolve with time. Now, Wapiti up here, up here we have the Native American, we have the general store, we have a horse trainer. There's going to be more stuff put up in here. I think that there should be also a saloon of some kind up in here. But Guarma is here. You can take a boat to Guarma for like $20, 25. It's on one of these piers down here. It's not marked. That's the thing. Like the boat, there's boat docks where you can get a boat. You can buy boats and keep them. You can also rent a boat, a steamboat. But this trip to Guarma is down here, and the big. And where is it? Where it's? I think it's this one. There's like a house, a blue house with it's a good place. It's like a ticket office house, and right in front of it, that whole area you will see it. It'll tell you can buy a ticket to Guarma, and then you just go. You go to Guarma, and you end up on the dock at Guarma. And in Guarma, there is there's a saloon, there's a weapons shop, there's a general store. But they're a little more limited in what they offer because it's so far away, you know. So now if I can call it's very easy to get your animal. It's the H key. You can get your animal. And of course, my horse's name is Jax. Level 1, he's been 39. Now, see, everyone when you ride your horse, you get a certain amount of experience for your horse, but very low, very slow to accumulate. If you lead your horse by its thing, by lead, he gets a little. You can access the saddlebag inventory. See, I have a bunch of stuff in my saddlebag. So now the saddlebag is not, people cannot search. So that's the thing here. This is where it leads me into robbing people. The saddlebag, if you want to keep something safe from robbery, you take it out of your inventory over here and you move it over here to your horse saddlebag. So if you go mining or something, you might want an empty horse saddlebag so that as you mine, you put your gems and stuff in your horse and to keep it safe, just in case somebody's waiting to waylay you on the road out of the mine in town, something like that. But anyway, now that brings up robbery. So robbery is a thing where you hit the 6 key when you're near somebody. Right now, this is just searching myself because I'm the only one near. there's nobody nearby me. So if I walk up to another player and they're right there in front of me, and I say, okay, this is a robbery, put your hands up, because I have my gun out. They have to do it. You know, you've got to value your life in role play. So you got to say, okay, okay, my hands up. And then you hit that 6 key and you do, it's search. Now you can search for money and take some of that, but it's going to limit the amount of money you can take. And you can only take one thing from in a robbery. So if you decide to take money, you can only take a certain percentage. It won't let you take but a certain amount. That's your one thing. If you want to search items, then it's going to show you, okay, well, I want to take your campfire. Well, that's it. That's all you can take. Now, you cannot take things like, you cannot take a crate or a notebook, I believe. You cannot take them. They won't let you. But you can take anything else, but only that one thing. So you got to pick, and you cannot say, well, there are 4 of us here robbing you, and I'm going to take one thing, and my friend's going to take one, and the other one person's going to take one. So we're going to take 4. Nope, you can't do it. That's against the rules. One person robs a person and takes only what the system allows them to take. That robbery's over. If 4 people walk up to 4 other people, then those 4 people can, each one of those 4 can rob one of the 4 that are being robbed. So it's a direct one-on-one. You cannot gang up with robberies on one person. You can't multiple rob a person. It's not, you can't do it. You're not allowed. Of course, I can take weapons. But that's my one thing. If I take a weapon, that's it. I can't take a weapon and something else and, whatever. And police have access to the same menu. Now, police have this menu. And, of course, now it also brings out my stupid lasso, but whatever. Badge on, badge off. I can put my badge, player ID, send to Siska. So if I do this to someone right near me, send to Siska prison, it shoots them right over to Siska. So I have to say, okay, this, of course, is because I look at the bounty board and I look at the penalties and I go, well, the penalty is 240 minutes. Now I can use my discretion. I just can't go above 240 minutes. I can say, well, they've been really nice and cooperative and they gave us information that'll help us with another case we're doing. So I'm only going to give him 200 minutes, or I'm going to just give him half. I'm going to give him 120 minutes. That'll be fine. He doesn't need the full sentence. So that's how you do it. But then you confirm, and they go to Sisica, and that's that for them. But that menu only comes up for law. You got to be police to get this menu. Yeah, see, these number keys are problematic because of the fact that they pull weapons also. So whatever, it's okay. I don't care. I can probably get that to stop. I don't know what my horse is doing, but anyway, let's go over to the train station because there lies some important capability. There's also a balloon ride up here. I can't remember where it is. Here. Ride the balloon. So if you go up in here, the balloon will show up and you can fly around. And yeah, it's kind of fun. But here, this is cool. Okay, so let me get off here. First thing you notice at the train station is this guy. He's always here. Stagecoach Company. Buy coach, own coaches, rent a coach. Rent a coach is $20. Now, oh shit.
Calm down. It's not worth it.
Sorry. That's because you have to step away and reactivate the menu. Otherwise, okay. Owned coaches. I own a fancy medium coach. You gotta be careful with this menu because if you're let me see, if I go into PvP off, so if I do buy coach, I can buy a bunch of coaches, whatever. There's a bunch of nice coaches. Oh no. Sorry. Again. It's just the E key if the menu option isn't showing. So you just step away, you come back, and it comes up. But anyway, you can rent a coach. So if I renting a coach, it's the same process. But if I take the coach I own out, then bingo, it shows up, and there I am. And of course, if I hit the U key, or the O key, I can say stop driving and hit it again, and I can say store coach, and it puts it away for me. Now, so that's there. And these guys, very similar, this works the same way with boats. So if you go to a boat dock, you'll have a guy selling and renting boats just the same way. I don't like it holding my gun. Now in here is the all-important job board. So you come in here and the Ripwater County job board shows up. These are with application. That means they're whitelist. Now, you can be a horse trainer. I've decided to leave that open initially, see how it goes, and gunsmith. Theater manager is real. It gets us a little salary, like $5 an hour, but you can show the little old slide movies, the silent movies in the little movie projector tents and stuff. But there's a particular set of commands you need for that I have to put on the Discord so people know how to show the movies. But it works real well. So here are the jobs, the other jobs that require approval. Train conductors. That's what I want to get into now. First of all, let me show you. We got tarot card reader, right? So you want to be a tarot card, give tarot readings and show the cards. Well, that's basically what happens there is you walk up to somebody, you want your cards read. You pay me $20, I'll give you a 10-minute tarot reading. And they say, yeah. Okay. Then you open up your tarot deck. You say, use the tarot cards. There's your reading. It pulled these cards randomly. 4 cups. The Fool. The Queen of Plates, basically. Denier. It's a French deck, as I said. Pentacles. That's what that is. Plates. They're sort of discs. And just coming up with synonyms for pentacle. Now, only you can see these cards. So if you want the person you're talking to see the cards, you press show cards to closest person. And what they see is that. There's nobody near me, so it just does it to me. But they see the same set of cards, and they have a close button to get it out of their face if they want. But anyway, so you can do the reading and talk to them and about the cards, and they can see what you're talking about. So that's how that works. Now, over here, you have the post office, and you have the ability to send telegrams, and I keep forgetting what my damn MT3946. December 30th, 1885, 9:21 Eastern Standard Time. Send it. Now, of course, it came into my box because I sent it to myself. So it shows me that there it is, December 3rd, blah, 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 blah. It shows who sent it, and I open it, and it comes up. I can delete it or just leave it and close it. I think there's a 30-day, they stay there for 30 days, and then they go into archive mode. So that's how that works. But the other thing is you can go in and you can do train company. Well, you can't unless you're, okay, you have to have the job. That's basically all I wanted to show. The point is you can operate the train. You can be either, and when you say you can buy a train, you'll have a train, but then and you can call the train and it'll come out. It'll be right there outside the station, and then you can get in and drive it, and you can steer it around because you can control the track switches from the train, and you supply the train with coal. So you have to get coal, which means you have to mine, perhaps, or buy coal, and you fill up the train inventory with coal. So you want to get a bunch of coal socked away in the train so that it's there if you long ride. Now, that's the thing. So if you're going to take passengers, then you got to get money from them. If they want to ride, then they pay because you need to make money if you're the train person, right? Because you're working hard to get the coal. You also have to get iron bars to do train repair or maintenance work. So you take care of the train, but you can drive it. And there's an armadillo version of this job also for the other loop. You know, there's different loop. There's the Valentine train works around up in here, like Saint Denis, all up in here. But the other one, I believe, works all down in this part. Down in West Elizabeth and below that into New Austin. But the train's really, really good. So, good evening. How you doing? So yeah, that's how that goes. The job board is going to be very important, and it will evolve as things transpire in this Ripwater County. It will evolve. Now, you can also, if you own a card, as I was saying before, it's funny because you have to hit it twice, but then your card shows up. That's the card I was talking about, the wagon with the enclosure for hunting. Now, you'll see in the card, if you hit U, you can dismiss and give away. But inventory. You see, you see what I've done here? I have obviously been up to no good because I have stored moonshine that I produced, 2 jugs of it. I have stored alcohol, and I have stored mint berry mash. Those are used for the production of moonshine. Those are for illegal activities. Now, if I'm caught with this, that is a criminal code. If I'm trying to deliver a bunch of moonshine somewhere, the police can come, and you cannot put moonshine on your horse. It won't let you. You can only put moonshine in your personal inventory, which is subject to search, or in a wagon inventory, which is subject to search. Anyone can jump into your wagon and get into that inventory. So you can get robbed on your way if you're transporting your moonshine. that was one thing that was I was trying to accomplish recently. So I got that going. There's a flask of moonshine. Now, moonshine has the reason moonshine is worthwhile is it is medicinal. Moonshine, if you drink it like if you're in a battle or something, medicine's very expensive. Medicine costs I don't know, it costs, I can't remember, like is it $50 or $100 for a bottle? But moonshine by the flask is less, but it gives your health core a major fix, and it gives you stamina. I guess because, you don't know any better, so you gotta have the stamina of drunken tomfoolery, and it gets you through a battle much better than you would otherwise. So that's a thing about moonshine. That's why players would want to acquire flasks of moonshine. Now the crate storage, if I look at that's my crate storage. So a storage crate that you carry in your inventory. Okay, wait, I got to show this better. I'm going to get out of this. Let's go over here. Let's go out of the way right here. Storage crates have the peculiar quality. Okay, you go in there and you got all your junk in there. Look at that. I got 24 reviving syringes. That is a fortune. Those are expensive if I sell them to people. But let's say I want to fill up a crate and for some purpose I need to leave it somewhere. I can do that. I go drop. Your crate will survive for 2 days. Anyone can take it. So it'll just be there. Just hanging out right there. Anyone can walk up to this crate now. So if you want to leave some for like your cohort, your friends or something, you better hide it and tell them where you hid it. You got to put it in. You got to put it in a bush somewhere or something. I don't know. But if you want to take it again, I picked up the crate and it's back in my satchel. See? And there it is. Okay, now you can't just leave crates around arbitrarily in front of things, on doorways, or inside places. You don't want to leave them. You wouldn't put a crate down inside a bank. You got to be reasonable. But they do expand your inventory by 100 items, and people can't steal the crate. So you have to put 2 and 2 together and figure out, what you're doing there. However, you cannot put moonshine inside a crate. So now the other thing here is notebook. If you buy a notebook and it works, like, okay, so I'm going to use it. It comes up. Now I have some notes. Now you can remember I had a posted note that was up on that wall, that building in town. It was this that I posted for it. This is the version in my notebook. Now I have some test notes, blah, 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 blah. But I can compose a note and say, this is my note. Hi there. And then save it. And it's in my notebook. And I can open it. I can also drop it. You see, it's on the ground. It'll stay there for 2 days. Now, anyone can take it. But that's okay. You might have a reason for leaving a note. But as I said about the crates, you got to be reasonable about where you leave them. Now, if I want to pick it up, I can pick it up, and then it'll go right in here, and I can read it. And if I want to give it to someone else to show them the note, then I just drop it again, and they can walk over and pick it up. Just come right over, pick the note up, read it. Now, newspapers work the same way, basically. You don't drop newspapers, though, but newspaper gets much more interesting when you are a journalist. There are no newspapers available at the moment. They will show up here. The only reason they're not here is because I made a whole bunch of them, but that was more than 30 days ago. After 30 days, the system just says, let's save space, and it just puts them into the archive. But it works the same way. And there you have it. But the newspaper, I will do another video where I do another job, and I'll say, okay, I'm a journalist, and I'll show making the articles. Now, the other thing about there's if I do this, let me go ride back into town. Robberies and such. So if you want to be a robber, rob a bank or something, you have to have a bandana. You put the bandana on. And you have to have a gun. So if you put the bandana on, and I don't think you need to be able to blow the vault too. Lockpicks are for like small safes and stuff. But they're also for in the bank. You need to have lockpicks to do robberies. But so if I go to my clothing menu, look at my face here. Clothing.
Hello.
Bandana.
I can see you ain't proud about what you're fixing to do.
And if I go in, shoot gun to start robbery. See that? Now, that'll get the robbery started. You see? Now, things have to happen, of course. I gotta get in. I gotta be able to get into the bank. But anyway, that's how it works. And police get notified. There's also another robbery of a store. You can be like, you can rob the store this way, shoot gun to start robbery because you got your mask on. Or you can also do a small petty, you can also do, well, this is piling up. Press G to break into register. But when these happen, let me take the F6, take the bandana off. So now the other menu won't be coming up. But you can always do this without a mask. And law gets notified, they get a little mark on the map, they know where to go. So my horse seems to want to do business at the bank. I don't know what the hell his idea is. But he somehow I got hold of an accountant horse. That's the basics of what we got going. There's other stuff though. There's mining. You know, it's I haven't even done anything really except show the stuff that's here. But yeah, I want to make the server start to allow some folks to come in and start up the role playing, and hopefully the stories will start to emerge, and we'll need to expand the number of people that can come in on the server pretty quickly. So we'll see. Oh, you can go, there's we have medical kits and stuff, but you can also come in here and like there's a hi, how you doing? You can come in here and go to the doctor to be treated. He'll treat you for $40. $40. If you are a doctor, you can come back in here and say medical options I want to take. satchel too full to add 30 items. But also you have to be a doctor. I think you can take, if you're not a doctor, you can take one. I can't remember, but you can. You can take one of each thing, I believe. Medical bag, bandage. I think you can even take a reviving syringe. One of each. Probably should not be allowed. I will probably close that down for only doctors. But for now, yeah, you can do it. Well, there's an intro, basically. The very simplest kind of an intro we got going. Oh, you know what this is? This is because I rented a coach. This is where I started up the coach, and I have not yet figured out how to... the coach has these, like, you pick someone up, you take them somewhere. It's a little job thing. And I have to make it turn itself off. It's no big deal, but it's kind of obnoxious to have that thing sitting there telling you where you're supposed to be going. I think if I go... Okay, so... If I go down, isn't it in here? No, it's down there. Okay. There. It was this guy. He's waiting for a coach. So to turn it off, I had to go to the mark and play. But anyway, so when you do a coach, it kind of does that. I don't know. I think I should turn that off and just have it be coaches, plain and simple. But anyway, that is the nature of RIP Roleplay. There's a lot of stuff. You can go panning for gold down in the river. You get your gold nuggets and stuff if you don't want to go mining. Anyhow, I will leave it at that at this juncture and then do another one very soon. RIP Roleplay, that is the name of the server, and I hope to see folks coming in and enjoying the county.